Despite all of the evidence, the myth of Mike Tyson persists. Whoa, first, what you talking about, man? Why you piling on? We love Mike. You can't be up here dissing Mike after he went in there at 58 years old versus Jake Paul's bitch ass. No, that ain't what I'm doing. That is not what I'm doing. All I'm doing is stating facts. The mythology around Mike Tyson persists despite what the record shows. Let's talk about it briefly, y'all. Let's talk about it briefly. I already reacted to that bullshit ass fight. Okay. So let's talk about something a little deeper, real quick. Before we do, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I am your homeboy first, and this is the realest, most entertaining show in the game. Put it on something again. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that share button, put all your people on it. Okay. Turn on those notifications as well, so you don't miss out on anything. You feel me? You cannot find this blend of commentary anywhere else. But here, I'm gonna put it on something. Okay. Hopefully y'all saw my short that I put out, my reel, depending on where y'all watch it. Of course, that fight was some bullshit. Netflix wasn't ready. They wasn't ready for what the fuck they needed to do. All that buffering and shit. Come on, dog. Come on. Y'all taking too much money from us to be up there with that bullshit like that. That's some bullshit. Jake Paul ain't nothing but a swindler. He doesn't want to fight anybody his age. Okay, he doesn't want to. He fought, who was it, Tommy Fury, who's a real boxer and happens to be young, and he took a L. Come on. We know he's a swindler. That motherfucker just knows how to make money. And then you have Mike. Mike had no damn business in that ring. Mike himself said he had no business in that damn ring, basically, by telling us that he damn near died in June. Those are Mike's words. Talking about he had 8 blood transfusions. My mama had about that many blood transfusions this summer. I know what that looked like. Mike Tyson's ass should not have been in nobody's ring. So why was he there? Why the fuck was he there? Mike was there because Mike, for some reason, I guess Mike still needs some money, or Mike wants some money. So if it's neither one is good. If Mike still needs money, that means there's still some funny business going on in Mike's life with his finances, or Mike has some spending habits that need to be addressed. Because we know Don King was fucking over Mike, over Prime Mike. We know that. We know when Mike got out of. We know Mike missed out on a lot of checks, being in jail. We know that. Mike gets out, started to get to some more checks, but still maybe some swindlers still in there with their hands in the cookie jar. But just looking at Mike Tyson post, or let's say the reinvention of Mike Tyson, the Mike Tyson that white America started liking, the docile Mike Tyson, the non-threatening Mike Tyson, the Mike Tyson that would be in the Hangover Mike Tyson, that one. Mike should have been able to generate some checks since then, that he ain't got to get his 58-year-old ass in the ring with that man. Mike is out here selling weed and all kind of shit. Got a podcast. The last time I checked was popular. What the fuck are we doing? And I know somebody said, well, man, that's an easy 20 million. You can look at it that way. Because those gloves were big. Mike still has that huge neck, even at 58, which can help him absorb punches. And Jake Paul is not a professional puncher. You can say Mike swindled us too. So, first, what they got to do with the myth of Mike? What you talking about? I kept hearing that Mike is the GOAT. I kept seeing Mike is the GOAT online. And that's just not the case. Mike might not be top 5, y'all. Heavyweight. He might not be top 5 heavyweights of all time, y'all. He really might not. I've watched every single Mike Tyson fight that's available online. Like, I just went down Mike's fight list. Matter of fact, he wasn't the first one I did this for. Okay. I'm turning myself into somewhat of a heavyweight boxing historian for the greats. Okay. So whatever fights were available online for Jack Johnson, the first black heavyweight champion, Joe Louis, Muhammad Ali. I watched all those. My wife even bought me a DVD set of almost all of Muhammad Ali's fights. One of my best presents ever from my bride. And then I've watched them online too to fill in the blanks for those that I didn't have. Joe Frazier, George Foreman, Larry Holmes, Mike Tyson. I watched them all. Sonny Liston, watched him too. If it's online, and if I could find it, I watched it. And I hate to say this shit, but what we saw in that fight is much of what I saw even in Tyson's prime. I ain't lying to you. Okay? Y'all got to realize Mike Tyson is a short cat. He is. Now, in that fight, they listed him at 5'10". Some fights I've seen him listed at 5'11 and a half. Okay. As I was eating dinner, I was just watching Tyson Holyfield 1 again. They had him listed at 5'11 and a half then. I've heard some people say Mike Tyson closer to 5'9". I don't know. He's under 6 feet tall in the heavyweight division. Okay. For comparison, Muhammad Ali was 6'3". If I'm not mistaken, Lennox Lewis like 6'4", 6'5". You know what I'm saying? George Foreman like 6'3". Holyfield like 6'2", something like that. So Tyson was always at a disadvantage height-wise. And so what I saw throughout his career is like if it was a fight in which his opponent was just willing to hold his ass and not give a fuck about the crowd booing, they had a chance. Because with him being short and having short arms, he had to work him. I'm talking about prime Mike now. He had to work himself inside to do his damage. Now, prime Mike was masterful at working himself inside. Okay. He actually threw a jab a little bit back then. His head movement was exquisite. Had good feet. You know what I'm talking about, to get up in there. So he could work himself in there. When he came in there, goddamn it, he was doing damage. Especially my favorite combo from him is a right hook to the body, followed by a right uppercut. Y'all probably seen that in many Tyson highlights. But if you were somebody who was just willing to hold his ass, you had a shot to at least go the distance with him. For instance, take a cat like James Tillis. Y'all can find this fight on YouTube. Okay, sometime when I work out, and I want to use a Tyson workout, use a Tyson fight to work out too, I go to this one because I know I'm gonna be able to get some rounds in. Because that man was holding the shit out of Tyson. Okay, he was not about to let that man get on the inside and rip away at his body and come with them uppercuts and them hooks. Okay, so he was just holding. Now, if you're just trying to watch it for entertainment, you're not gonna like watching this fight. Okay, because that motherfucker was holding on for dear life. But if you were willing to do that, you would have a chance. You see that with a bunch of other cats who fought Prime Tyson. Mitch Green. Mitch Green was holding his motherfucking ass. Like, if you were willing to hold him, time up, you stood a chance against Mike Tyson. Okay. Because the motherfucker is short. He is. Okay. He's quick, he's ferocious, but he just ain't got that. He ain't got that part. So also though, if you had a jab and were not scared of him, willing to throw that jab out there. Now you gotta, when I say not scared of him, you throw that jab out there, Prime Tyson might be able to slip that motherfucker and pop your ass. Okay. But that goddamn Buster Douglas had lost his beloved mother. And Mike motherfucking ass was playing Buster Douglas weak. He took his ass over to Tokyo and got beat. Now, I watched that fight as well, y'all. I know that Tyson really won that fight. I know that. I know that he knocked Buster Douglas on his ass, and Douglas benefited from a long count. I counted it myself. Okay. But shit happens. That shit shouldn't have been close. Mike Tyson, while I'm saying he's not the GOAT and he may not be top 5 heavyweight, he damn sure, undoubtedly, is an all-timer. He is one of the GOATs, and he is in a different stratosphere than Buster Douglas. But that's what I'm talking about, the myth of Mike Tyson. Sometimes, especially after Cus D'Amato passed away, Mike just wasn't in it mentally. Like, he just wasn't locked in sometimes. And so if a motherfucker gave him some pushback, they had him. You know what I'm saying? So you had the loss to Buster Douglas. Okay. Then a lot of people act like he just went straight to jail after that, which is not the case. Okay. He knocked out Henry Tillman in 1 round. After that, TKO on Alex Stewart. He beat Razor Ruddock twice, TKO'd him. March 18th, 91. Then came back and won a decision against him June 28th, 91. If I'm not mistaken, Ruddock was doing a bunch of that goddamn holding as well. And of course, y'all know after that, now he went to jail. All right. But after the jail stint, let's compare 2 GOATs. Now, Ali, y'all know the fuck shit he went through. Didn't go to jail, but lost 3.5 years because of his stance on the Vietnam War, and them motherfuckers were trying to put him in jail. And then, of course, Tyson being convicted of rape. I know some people think he got the hoes. It was America trying to come for a black man or whatever. Whatever y'all think about that situation, you still got these 2 GOATs with these hiatuses. Okay. One comes after that in Muhammad Ali and goes 2-1 against Joe Frazier. Okay. Lost to Joe Frazier in the fight of the century, but then came back, beat Joe Frazier in Madison Square Garden the second time around, and then beat him in arguably the greatest fight of all time in Thriller in Manila. He beats George Foreman, the Mike Tyson of his time, but bigger with longer arms. You know what I'm talking about? Goes 2-1 versus Ken Norton. That's what he did. After his hiatus, he came back and beat a bunch of Hall of Famers. In contrast, after Mike's hiatus, Mike comes back and the big names that he faced, TKO'd by Holyfield. Yeah, some people talk about the headbutts and shit like that. Looked to me like both of them motherfuckers were coming in. Okay. Mike trying to come in and do damage as he did, you know, Holyfield dropping his head and all that kind of shit. But them hands is what got Mike up out there. It wasn't that head, but it was hands that got Mike up out there. Now the headbutt irritated Mike. But on that undercard of that bullshit fight we saw the other day, we saw them women get down. And I saw that Serrano girl get headbutted by Katie motherfucking ass. The white girl she was fighting, and her damn shit was hanging, and that girl still fought her ass off. So Mike don't really respond to adversity that well, and he didn't in that fight and got TKO. Come back in the rematch, and y'all know that's when he bit that motherfucker's ear. Okay, so who the other big name of that time is Lennox Lewis or Lennox. let these motherfuckers tell we supposed to say Lennox. Now you can say Mike is probably past his prime in 2002 facing Lewis. Okay, I would argue if that fight had happened in the 80s, definitely if it had happened in the 90s, Lennox Lewis still would have won. He's just so much bigger than Mike Tyson. He's out there just working the jail. Mike just couldn't get in there. Maybe 80s Tyson with that head movement. Maybe if Cuss is still alive, can work his ass on in there to work on Lennox. But go watch the fight. You'll see. It ain't number jabs and straights. Jabs and straights. Whooping his ass. So how in the hell does Mike have his stranglehold on everybody? You had Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield at the fight the other night. And folks just don't take to them like they take to Tyson. It's something about Mike Tyson. People just grab. Is it the YouTube highlights? Is it the clips? What is it? What is it? He got this stranglehold on the culture, bro. And it's crazy. Like with Ali, you had what he did inside the ring, which was incredible. But also, the culture fucked with him because of his stances outside the ring. Mike ain't like that. Mike ain't standing up for a motherfucking thing. When last time you heard Mike speak up on some real shit? I heard Mike say he ain't got no problem with Donald Trump. I heard Donald Trump say nice things about Mike Tyson. He only say nice things about a motherfucker if a motherfucker like him. But I still saw the culture just so fucked up about Mike. And I admit it wasn't a good look to see that boy, Jake Paul, be in the same ring. He did not deserve to be in the same ring with that legend like that. And see his hand raised, and he can say, I beat Mike Tyson. And I see that Mike's fight record changed from 50-6 to 50-7 because of Jake Paul. That didn't sit right, but the way some folks were carrying on, like, God damn, hold on, man. When the last time Mike went this hard for us? It was akin to like Lil Wayne. It was akin to that. You know how hard motherfucker was going for Lil Wayne when he didn't get the Super Bowl performance in New Orleans? I'm like, damn, when the last time Lil Wayne went this hard for us? I could have sworn Lil Wayne said racism don't exist. He don't involve himself with nothing that ain't got shit to do with him. And you a fool if you do. Very similar. But like Lil Wayne, Tyson's so fucking, his fights, his knockouts are so entertaining. His highlight reels, that's how motherfuckers know. Jake Paul told me he wanted to beat Mike Tyson. Man, you wasn't even born Mike Tyson, goddamn, really. The Mike Tyson. He been watching Instagram reels, bro, and YouTube highlights. And they are very exciting. You watch that shit, like, oh, Iron Mike, this the baddest motherfucker. That's the mythology. That's the mythology behind Mike. It's crazy. But it is. It's mythology, y'all. I challenge y'all, real fight fans. Take that journey with me. Okay? Pick your division. It might not be heavyweight, but commit yourself. Go watch some good fights, y'all. You will find most, if not all. Some folks got full playlists with the greats fights in it. Go put your eyes on them. Okay? Or if you're trying to get yourself into shape, put the fight on, you know what I'm talking about? And work out with it. You know what I'm talking about? But I want y'all to put your eyes on this shit. Because if you're a real fight fan, you know that Ali is better than Tyson. Foreman, even though he beat this man, an old version of this man, I'll take Larry Holmes over Tyson. Go look up Larry Holmes. Now, don't just watch the Tyson fight. Look up Larry Holmes earlier and watch that jab. Watch that footwork. Watch the combinations. And you tell me what the fuck he would have done if they matched up in their prime. You tell me. Talking about ferocious, go look up Sonny Liston. Pre-Ali. Look him up. Watch that jab. Watch that jab. He shot that jab like it was a fucking straight. Like it was a straight right hand. Check that out. Go watch Joe Frazier and see the hard that Joe Frazier had. He was short. He was short. Okay? And you watch them fights with Ali, Ali would hold his ass when he got on that inside. And watch how Joe Frazier will persevere through that shit and keep fucking coming and coming and coming. That Thriller in Manila, you watch that shit, Joe Frazier motherfucking ass would have died in that ring. If his trainer, Eddie Futch, didn't stop that shit, Joe Frazier would have kept fighting blind up in that bitch. See the kind of hard he got. I don't know if Mike got that kind of hard. Mike got hard to be that short, to become that great, whooping all of these tall ass dudes' ass. I'm not saying that. He's definitely top 10. But the mythology around Mike is bigger than Mike himself. And unfortunately, that bullshit we saw the other day is a part of that. Meanwhile, that welterweight fight was incredible. And that women's co-main event was incredible. We got some good fighting that happened that night. Nobody paid attention to the pros. They paid attention to a YouTuber and a 58-year-old who should have had his ass at home. Put it on some.
Please subscribe to my daddy's YouTube channel, because the more subscribers he gets, the more attractive he looks to sponsors. The more attractive he looks to sponsors, the more money he can make. And the more money he can make, the more money he can spend on me.